Technology. How would we function without it? It's a lifeline to social connection, a significant learning resource, and oftentimes the primary support system for our time management efforts. While technology is integrated into our everyday activities, as an organization member and future professional, you must be intentional in the ways you leverage digital platforms to support your organizational and professional growth. The National Association of Colleges and Employers 2019 Job Outlook Survey asked employers across a variety of industries to identify the skills they look for in new college graduates. Among the top five includes one very critical competency: digital technology. As a student organization member, you will have access to digital resources that are designed to foster organization success. The digital platform we will focus on through this brief training is Engage. By using Engage, you not only access resources and processes relevant to your organization, but you also build your technology competency, making you a competitive graduate when seeking a professional role. There are three processes we will focus on within Engage that promote organizational success. One, rosters, which includes positions and messaging. Two, Engage event registration. And three, forms and news. First, the roster. When you log into Engage, if you've been added to the organization's Engage roster, you will see the organization listed under memberships. If you do not see your organization's name listed here, contact your organization's president or primary contact. They can add you to the roster. To see a full roster, click on the organization and scroll down to the officers section of the org's Engage profile. Then click View Full Roster. If you're an officer or member and your president and primary contact has indicated that they've added you to the page, but you're still not showing up, you will need to update your privacy settings. Click on your profile in the top right corner and click on your name and account. When you access your account, click on the second tab, Privacy Settings, and then scroll down. Each organization that has added you to the roster, Engage allows you to indicate whether or not you want to show or hide your membership or officer position to the public for that org. All officers will be listed as members. Select your preferences, and that will resolve any visibility issues. Organizations are required to biannually update their roster through the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership's re-registration periods. If you are an officer, when you click the Manage Organization button in the top right corner of your org's Engage profile, this is not only where you'll access re-registration, but other features such as manual roster updates and tools we will discuss today. During periods of re-registration, you will see the blue Re-registered this organization button. This button will only be visible during re-registration periods. Please note that members who use this button to submit the organization's re-registration and roster update will be set as the primary contact. Communicate with your members to determine who should submit this. This view, known as the Manage view, allows you to access a drop-down menu, including all management tools. We will start today with the Roster tool. Throughout the year, organization officers can use the Roster Management tool to invite individuals to join the organization. All you need is their UAB email address. Using the Invite People button, type in the individual's email address, add the address, and then use the drop-down menu to select what position they should hold. If the individual does not have a position, simply leave it as member. If the person later becomes an officer, you can add their position once they're on your roster. Now let's look at officer positions. Using the pencil button to the right of their name on your Engage roster, you can add any position pre-populated into Engage. You can also use the Manage Position feature to edit the access setting for various positions you've selected. For example, if you assign the coordinator position to a member, be sure the settings are accurate for your organization's preferences. Click on the name of the position to access the settings. Then you can rename the position if you choose. Be sure it is listed as an officer, it is active, and make sure the management access is either limited or all if you want them to be able to use Engage management tools. You can also use the roster management tool to send out organization emails called a message relay. Using the messaging tool at the top right, you can create a relay to generate an email. Use the Create Relay button to generate the email. You will then be asked to select recipients. You can do this by position. If you want to send to all members, select Member. Even officers are members, so everyone will receive this. If you want to restrict your email to just executive officers, select the position titles which should receive it. Or you can indicate specific members that should receive your email or leave that column as none. Lastly, enter the title. This will be the subject line of your email. Then make sure the total recipient count looks correct and click the blue Generate button. Once you do so, you will receive a relay email address. Simply click the address, which should open in your email browser, and type the body of your email. When you press send, it automatically sends to the individuals you've stated as recipients on the previous screen. This is a great way to send mass messages to your entire organization. Now let's look at Engage event registration. To access the organization's events and to submit event registration, access your Manage Organization feature and then select Events from the drop-down menu. To submit Engage event registration, which is required for all events and activities happening on campus, use the blue Create Event button. This will open the event registration form. It's important to note the following. All events and activities happening on campus must be submitted for review. There is a mandatory 5 business day in advance requirement. Be prepared to share your space. Through Engage, you can request academic space and residence life space. However, if you're hosting an event in the Hill Student Center or University Recreation, you must first confirm the space through their websites. All 4 of these spaces review the Engage event registration form. If you do not follow the 5 business day rule, your submission will be automatically denied. This is to support these offices' time frame to review and confirm your space reservation. Once the space is confirmed, that does not mean your event has been approved. You will receive final approval from the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership. You will receive an email notification from Engage once this approval has been submitted, and then it will show up in your list of upcoming events. Now, when you click on the blue Create button, you will have a series of fields and questions to complete. This includes the name of your event description, which you should be thorough here, as well as listing an organization that is co-hosting. If you have a co-hosting organization, be mindful that they will be added as an event reviewer to vote on the submission and share comments if they have any. On the first page, you'll also list your logistical details, including the start date and end time, as well as your location. If you're hosting an ongoing event, such as a weekly meeting, you can list up to 17 events at one time, and you're encouraged to do so. You can click the Add Another Date option to add those additional dates and times. Organizations will also have the ability to use the Engage RSVP feature to invite attendees and use unique questions to answer in advance to learn more about your attendees or their interest in your event. There is also an option to gather post-event feedback through Engage. Click to automatically send a survey following the event that would include a ranking scale and any specific questions you indicate in your event registration form. Other questions you'll be asked to include selecting your organization's type. This is important because it determines future questions. If you select that you are a university office or department, but are in fact a student organization, your submission will be denied and you'll have to resubmit within the 5 business day requirement. You'll then be prompted to respond to questions regarding the nature of the event. The most important question on this page is the one which asks, where will your event be held? It is critical that you select the correct building or location. This is what prompts campus space reviewers to review your form and confirm or assign your space. If you select an academic building from that list, you will then be prompted to enter the request you have for academic space. Remember, this is how you reserve academic space, so please be thorough in your responses. Also understand, if your preferred space is not available, you may be assigned to a comparable space based on the information you share here in regards to your needs to classroom size, etc. Once you finish the event registration questions and submit your form, the individual that submitted the form can access it at any time through their profile. Click your profile, the Submissions tab, and then Events. When you click on the name of the event, you'll see a submission including a list of reviewers and comments on the bottom. Scroll down to the comments, which will also send via an email notification to the submitter's UAB email address to see any updates on your submission. This is where we may ask for additional details or include updates on confirmed or assigned space. Once your event is approved, it will show up on your organization's profile listed under all events. Click the event and select the Manage Event to access additional features, like the RSVP count or attendance tracking details. All organizations have access to track attendance using the access code and Users Engage Event Pass. If you need support with this feature, just let us know. We can send you a tutorial. Now let's look at another beneficial management tool, Engage Forms. To access forms, click Manage Organization and then click Forms from the drop-down menu. Here you will see any forms your organization has previously created. Using the blue Create Form button to generate a new form, you'll first have the option to develop your form's properties, including a name, making it active, and selecting how you want to review the forms. You can either enable approvals, which would mean approving or denying the form, or you can mark them as received. This would just accept the forms and require no extra review. If you want to make the form public for social media or other outlets, be sure to click Allow Submissions from Public Users. You can also set reviewers through the form properties. Use the blue person icon in the corner of the reviewers box to select from your members. This is a great way to add someone who needs to vote to share approval or to just give access to the submissions. Now it's time to add your questions. There are a variety of question types that you can access. To add a question, click on the question type, type in your question and response options if applicable. You can use conditional formatting by adding extra pages and conditions. Once you've set the properties and added your questions, you will be able to access a shareable link. This link is how you will distribute the form. It is very important that you copy and paste this link directly from the Share URL box. Do not copy the link from your browser. That link is unique to you as a user and it will not work for anyone else. A great way for your organization to share updates, announcements, and opportunities is through the Engage News feature. To access your organization's news, use the Manage Organization button and then select News from the drop-down menu. From here, you'll be able to see old posts as well as use the blue Create Article button. Your article will need a title, a short summary, which will show up on the news dashboard, and body content. You can also add an image, which will accompany the summary on the dashboard. Once your article is published, it will show up here for all to see under the News tab on the Engage home screen. Today, we've reviewed several Engage features to boost your organization's use of Engage. Through Engage, your organization can maximize digital resources to enhance your campus presence and success. Additionally, through use of the site, you can add digital technology to your resume as a gained skill you've acquired through your leadership role. If you have questions about Engage or your skill development, contact the Office of Student Involvement and Leadership at getinvolved@uab.edu. And good luck this year as you serve your student organization and our UAB campus community.